cause I've been that bit. Keep it fly, cause I am the shit. Don't give a fuck what a hater gotta say. I'ma stand 10 toes for me anyway. Don't need nobody. Got myself and God got me too. Ooh, let me let you know I ain't wanna play with boo. Let me let you know I'm a little crazy, ooh. Let me let you know I could never be unstable, but I try to keep it cute, try to keep it stable. I said, Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So, this is another episode of Talks with Spiritual Talks with Spiritually Sky. Have some notes here about this topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a little bit, and it's about potential and practicality, but mostly about potential and how potential could lead you down a very dark path if you don't pay attention and get practical about it. So, potential does not yield practical results or outcomes. Potential is a possibility. Reality is the evidence. You can't build with potential without being practical. So in life, sometimes, whether it's a job, a relationship, an environment, or even like a friendship or a family tie or whatever, sometimes, we make excuses for people and we try to see the best in situations just simply based off of potential. Oh, it's going to get better, or I know they care about me. They just have to learn how to show me the way I want to be shown. Or, we make all these dumb excuses about things and then get mad when things end up awry and messed up because we're like, whoa, when you should have seen it coming. But guess what? We're all human. We all make mistakes. This is a judgment-free zone. I'm just here to put y'all on game if you haven't been put on game yet. Okay. How many times have you or others stayed in a situation longer than we should have based off of potential or the possibility? We're gonna pause. Some of y'all can answer in the comments. Some of y'all can respond right now. I feel the energy. How many jobs have we stayed at because we convinced ourselves to stay based off of possible promotions, potential changes in management? So let's say you have a horrible manager who's holding you back for whatever reason, and you're like, they have to pay for what it is that they're doing, or it has to catch up to them because they be like bad managers usually, but for some reason it's like the worst managers keep their jobs the longest. It's so odd. They get away with murder. So you think, oh yeah, management could change. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you need to change your environment, your job, things like that. But it's not always easy. That takes time. That takes practical planning and steps. But it doesn't mean you have to be stuck in something. You just have to work yourself out of that situation, or get yourself out of that situation rather. Okay. Or how many times have we told us that things would magically get better? How many of us, you, your loved ones, stay in a toxic, I can't speak today. How many of us, you or your loved ones, have stayed in a toxic relationship based off of the They don't want me to get this message out. The devil is a lie. Okay, cut. We're gonna start over. How many of us, you or your loved ones, have stayed in a toxic relationship based off of the potential alone? And how many times does that relationship end in disappointments, regret, because potential was blinding you from seeing the reality of the situation? They didn't want me to get that out, but I did. All right. How many times do we stay in an environment that we knew we've outgrown, knowing good and well that the environment is keeping us stuck? Like some of us that are loyal to the hood or loyal to our environment. It doesn't even have to be the hood. You could be loyal to the damn suburbs. You could be loyal to your family home. You could be loyal to a work environment. You could be loyal to a place just because of the history you have there, because of the ties you might have there. Whatever it is, there's something that keeps you there regardless, right? We're going to circle back to that too. How many times are you going to overextend yourself or force a situation to work or match the potential that you envisioned, just to end up burnt out and overburdened? Again, this is a judgment-free zone. We are all humans having a human experience. Like I said, if this isn't something that you peeped yet, I'm here to put you on game. But some of us, We peeped it, but that comes with trial and error. So I'm trying to save you some of that error and trials. Okay, seeing the potential isn't the problem. You can see the potential in something, but there has to be practical steps made to make it like realistic, to make it something valuable, something worth your time. No matter what the situation is, friendship, relationship, job, environment, etc. So let me read that again. Seeing the potential isn't the problem. Confusing potential with the reality of the situation is where the issue lies. Relying solely on the potential of something or someone can become a form of self deception and not a self fulfilling prophecy. You cannot force a situation to work if it's just not working. Idolization cannot save you from the reality of the situation. Of course, some of us, especially those of us who are more on the optimistic side and try our best to see the positive in life and see the glass half full, yeah, there's just gonna be times where we're gonna hit our heads. Okay, it's just life. You know, you see the best in people, even the people that people shun. Like, I'm the type of person, I would have to see who a person is for myself, and I'm not gonna just rag on a person just because everybody else is, because you never know. You don't know if they do it out of spite just to mess with that person because they don't like them, or if that person's really a messed up person, right? I digress. But that's just one example. Like, again, we're all human. But like, yeah, how many times have we done that? You feel me? Sometimes we aren't actually seeing someone's potential, we're projecting our hopes onto them. That's another thing. Sometimes our ego gets involved in, it causes havoc. For example, I know they're a good person deep down. I know this job will work out eventually. I know this environment isn't as bad as it seems. It can or will get better. They love me. They just don't know how to show it properly. They'll change eventually. Will they? Like, really, sit and ask yourself whether it's a situation, relationship, etc. Without making practical steps, or without that other influence making the practical steps, because a messed up environment is a messed up environment. A toxic job is a toxic job. A toxic relationship is a toxic relationship. You can only control yourself. You cannot control others. So, genuinely ask yourself, am I the only one putting an effort to try to make it better? Is there other forces trying to make it better, or are they fighting against me? Is this harder than it needs to be? Should I exit this because this clearly isn't for me? But of course, when you have the rose colored glasses on, or you're just trying to be optimistic, or you're just not trying to let life beat you up, sometimes, you get blinded. And I am here to tell you, you don't have to be blinded anymore. It's okay to open the eyes if you want. I mean, hey, we all have free will. Okay. A lot of us look at a situation with blind optimism and rose colored glasses. Please don't get caught up on the potential. Often our minds will paint a picture we want to see instead of looking at the picture for what it is. For example, myself. I've always had a big heart. At one point, I hated it because I don't know, I'm just naturally kind. I wouldn't say I'm friendly, but I am naturally kind. Like, I don't like to see people hurt. Don't like, I just don't like people unhappy. If I saw someone sitting alone at a lunch table or something, I was the type of person to go and talk to them and, you know, let them know that, hey, if you don't want to be alone, you don't have to. Like, I don't know, I'm just a caring person, and I used to be super forgiving. And now I don't have as much patience. But anyway, let's continue. So anyway, I always had a big heart and a knack for seeing the best in the situation and in people at times. For me, it started at home, when family members would hurt my feelings and or try to minimize my feelings and make their struggles and inconveniences my problem. It created a harmful and negative trait within my subconscious. Now, it was a mixture of things. One, I always saw the best in people, and as a child, it's easier to excuse the actions of parental figures and or other family members because you love them, and you assume they love you too. And two, gaslighting, responding to my grievances, which stemmed from an offense they created or initiated, and being met with excuses and placing the blame on the other parent and or stonewalling me and or comparing their harder life to mine. Long story short, I had to one, learn that this is not normal or healthy. Two, it was subconsciously bleeding out into other areas of my life. Of course, I'm human and it's trial and error. I'm still working through this actively. However, I've learned and unlearned a lot along the way. Like, I've made a lot of progress. And that's why I'm here to be able to do this video today, trial and error, bookie butt. With that being said, this video isn't intended as a dig or a way to make you feel flawed. It's more of a testimony, a discovery that I've discovered, trial and error, living life. Also research and vicariously through others, conversations, hearing other people's stories, etc. We are all humans having a human experience, and I have to keep saying that. You're human, I'm human, we're human. We got to figure this thing out. If we knew everything, we wouldn't be here. Hello. I just hope I can inspire many and make it easier to get through this thing called life. However I can, even if it's just one person. Okay, and now let's talk about the definition of insanity. The real definition and the adage used to describe insanity. Starting with the definition. Insanity, a severely disordered state of mind, a mental illness, or extreme foolishness. This is about more so extreme foolishness with idolizing things and being blinded from the truth and seeing things how we want to see it. Yeah, to be honest, it's blissful ignorance. It is foolish, but it's not a dig. This is more of a way to open up and face the music because life is too short to be a fool for anybody. An adage that is commonly known to describe insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Honestly, this conversation will save you a lot of heartbreak, a lot of turmoil, and a lot of regret and resentment. Seriously, if you don't have to put yourself or subject yourself to something and someone is able to be like, hey, this is how it's going to work. And if you're like me, you got to test out for yourself one time and see if it really is that. You're like, okay, you know, it's right. Or maybe you're a person that you got to just face it head on and do it a million times. Just know, think back to this video and be like, you know what? This is something to consider. Now, some may ask, what is blocking my vision from seeing the situation clearly? Sometimes it's our egos, insecurities, fear of abandonment, traumas, childhood traumas, etc. To overcome this obstacle, however, one must ask themselves, what is this person or situation actually showing me? And not what we want to see or what we hope it would be. Okay, so I'll be right back.